AFTV still here at Goodison Park. Time to get into the player ratings, and what can I say? It weren't great today. As a matter of fact, let's be real, it's poor. And we haven't said that much about Arsenal this season. To their credit, the players have put it in, week out. And I find it really hard to be harsh on them, because it's not like seasons gone by where we've seen this a lot. We haven't. We've been seeing excellent performances by the team this season, but they won't need me to tell them. They won't need you to tell them. Today, Arsenal were poor. In goal, I thought Aaron Ramsdale, actually, he did all right. You know what I mean? He was one of the better players. That save he pulled off when it hit that deflection, it was going the other way. I mean, his reflexes were good. He was all right. I'm going to give him a 7. At right back, I thought Ben White was very lacklustre today. You know what I mean? No overlapping runs, no decision making was poor. Just not a good game by him. You know, by his really, really high standards. He's been one of our most consistent players this season, but he just didn't show up today. I'm going to give him a 5. William Saliba, listen, I thought, on the whole, the two centre-backs, Saliba and Gabriel, coped with the threat of Calvert-Lewin fairly well, although there was that one occasion where Calvert-Lewin could have, or maybe should have scored, but I'm going to give William Saliba a 6, and I'll give Gabriel a 6 as well. You know what I mean? Listen, they didn't really have a lot to do apart from defending set pieces, and they did get done on one of them. Zinchenko on the left-hand side, one of our best players by far this season. I didn't think he had a good game today at all. I thought some of the decision making, they defended him well, by the way. I mean, give credit to Everton, the way they closed down, they blocked off the lines and stuff like that. But he was very sloppy today, Zinchenko. And even at the end, I don't know who came up with that idea to try and pull off a worldie from a corner. That's not what's needed at that time. Get the ball into the box, try and get a head on it. You know what I mean? So I'll probably give Zinchenko a 5 today. It wasn't his greatest performance at all. Thomas Partey, again, I think similar. Not at the races today. Very, very sloppy, giving the ball away. Just not his dynamic self. He just didn't seem himself today. 5 for him as well. You know what I mean? And he got substituted, and you could see why. Martin Odegaard. Oof. I'm tempted to give him even less than a 5. He was that bad. But because he's a captain, because he's been brilliant all season, it'd be unfair to do that. I can't. I refuse to. So I'm going to give him a 5, right? But he was shocking today. We've got to be real. Martin Odegaard, his worst game I've seen him, probably in an Arsenal shirt. He's a top quality player who's been incredible for us this season. So I hope people don't take it too harsh. But I've got to tell it as it is. He was poor today. Also in the midfield area, Granit Xhaka, probably one of the better players. But even Granit wasn't himself today. I still felt he's not as dynamic as he's been in previous games. But I'll probably give Granit a 6. I think he was the better of the midfield players. Going across the front three, Martinelli, quiet today. But I have to say, they didn't find him enough. The amount of times he was just hanging out wide, screaming for the ball to come to him, and nobody found him, was a bit worrying. I was like, why are they not passing to Martinelli, And I felt that when they hooked him, I didn't think they should have took off Martinelli. I think they should have left him on. He's always a threat when he's running at players. So I'll give him a 6 today. Saka on the other side was probably, if we were going to get anything out of this game, it's probably going to come from him. He looked the more likely, even though himself, he didn't have a great game. But he looked the most likely, so I'll probably give him a 6. And Eddie, listen, he wasn't great today, but you couldn't fault him for a lack of effort, so I'll probably give him a 6 as well. Moving to the subs, I thought Trossard was pretty poor when he came on. He didn't really impact the game at all. And again, very sloppy. Some of the decisions weren't quite right, so I'd probably give him a 5. Jorginho didn't really impact the game at all either. So I'll give him a 5 as well. And Tomiyasu didn't really have enough time to come on and do anything. I'll give him a 5 as well. Mikel Arteta today, I don't know. Listen, we have to mark him down a bit because it just didn't happen for us today, did it? First time, I think, away from home that we've not put in a performance worthy of what we've been doing this season. So probably give Mikel Arteta a 6. Referee, I'm going to give a 4. I think, referees just allow players to waste time. They never book them until late in the game. I'm fed up with it, man. They never add on enough time. I said, when I was over in Qatar at the World Cup and they were adding on 10, 15 minutes, I loved it. I was like, well done. At last, this will teach teams not to waste time. Come back here. No, we're not going to go with that. Why? You're not going to add on the real time that's being wasted. And I just felt he just allowed, Everton to waste time. And I don't blame Everton. I'd do exactly the same. They're down there at the bottom. They got a chance of getting 3 points. I would have done exactly the same. It's up for the ref to deal with it, and he didn't. And the fans today, listen, let me give the fans all the credit in the world. I'll give them a 9 out of 10. Listen, to come up here, 12:30, you're leaving from London, The guys who were on the coach, they said they left out at 4:30 this morning. Looked like the Arsenal players left out at 4:32. And they were still knackered when they got on the pitch. So give the fans a 9, but it wasn't the Arsenal we've been watching all season today. We were really poor, but let's hope we can bounce back next week. And then, you know what, I don't want no favours from Tottenham as well, because we got to do our business. We got to bounce back. We still got a little lead. Got to bounce back next week. Shop for AFTV merch at shop.aftv.co.uk. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Snapchat and Twitch. We've got content for every platform, so check it out.